There are over 40,000 snail species around the world, but how many of those 40,000 can you actually eat? Well, I plan to find out.
Today, I'm on a mission to eat every snail in Asia.
Ooh, they are big.
And by the end of this video, I'll be taking on the most expensive snail that money can buy.
What a strange looking creature.
But first, the most affordable and tiniest snail of the day.
These snails are absolutely microscopic, and actually, for each one, it costs less than a penny. This is the button-top snail. They call it that because if you look at it from the side, it looks like the top of a button.
Every summer, button-top snails flood the coast of central Vietnam and local dining tables. Stir-frying them with lemongrass, chilies, ginger, fish sauce, and sugar brings out their best.
Now, in order to eat this, you need tools. Right here, we have the thorn of a plant, and we're using that to extract the tiny morsel of meat that is inside each snail. This is no easy task. I'm putting in the thorn. I believe I've got some protein. I'm pulling out. That right there is our first snail. It is a whisper of flavor. I'm told that this is a snail that's known for its subtle ocean sweet flavor, but the reality is I tasted a hint of lemongrass and then it was gone like a breeze in the fall. This is a food that would be literally impossible to get nutrition from. If you're a bodybuilder and you're using this as your protein source, you're gonna look like this.
In Vietnam, snails are practically a religion. From seafloor swimmers
Look at it move.
to mud-dwelling oddballs,
It looks so incredibly creepy.
locals eat them all, and I plan to do the same. Next on the list is a snail named after a tree.
This is the coconut snail. These guys grow up near coconut palms, which is how they got their name. You can find these coconut snails in mangrove swamps or brackish waters, especially in southern Vietnam, like in the Mekong Delta. The shell is almost charcoal in color. On the other side, it's kind of an orangey brown, and you can see some of these snails actually still moving because they're alive.
A thorough boil with lemongrass, salt, sugar, and chili prepares the snails for cooking.
These snails here are sweet, chewy, ocean briny, and perfect for soaking up sauces, which is exactly what we're gonna see next.
Sugar, mixed salt and pepper, chilies, and kumquat juice team up to create a zesty sauce. In go the boiled snails, getting a glossy coat before they strut their way to the table.
This food isn't about feeling full, it's about feeling good and getting that delicious taste of the coconut snail right here in your banh mi hole. So let's get to it. Step 1, grab a snail. Step 2, take this, a new tool. Put the needle inside and kind of wrestle the snail out of there. Jeepers, these are still pretty dang small. Oh, we got it. It is dark, it is black. This is the hard part of the snail that kind of closes the door of the shell. We want to get rid of that, that's really hard. Okay, a little bigger, a little more robust, a little bit more flavor. The main flavor coming off this thing, it's a little bit spicy, salty. It's got a little hint of heat to it, and I taste lemongrass. Overall, pretty delicious.
These little guys go for 3 cents each, but throw in 2 more cents, you'll get something even meatier and way more bizarre.
On the outside, their shells are dark and gray, but on the inside, their flesh is orange and black. It looks so incredibly creepy. I love it.
Meet the blunt mud creeper snail, a name they earned from living in the muddy coastal areas of Southeast Asia.
It looks like a snail that has an elephant trunk. You can see his 2 beady eyes right here, and then some kind of a proboscis mouth reaching out, trying to touch the world. Give me a lick. What do you think? Not interested. It is retreating after touching my finger.
Before hitting the cooking pan, each blunt mud creeper gets its shell tip snipped.
These are known as sucking snails because you have to suck them out of the shell, but here's the problem. Right now, it's impossible to suck because there's no ventilation. What do? Well, they take half of this conical shell and they snip it off. Then, when you give it a little bit of a suck, it pops right out.
Leaving their shell tip behind, the snails soak in a bubbling hot bath with lemongrass to shed their muddy scent. In a wok, margarine melts down before meeting more lemongrass and the snails. Then comes a creamy trio: condensed milk, cow milk, and coconut milk. Next, sugar, MSG, and seasoning powder, each by the ladle full. Finally, a small heap of Vietnamese coriander and fresh chilies seal the deal.
That right there is a beauty. We've got chilies, we've got herbs, we've got tons of lemongrass flavor popping out of this thing. The first thing I want to do is show you this broth, or the sauce that they put on here, because that is what it's all about. Let's start by tasting the sweet nectar that is flavoring our snails. Oh my Lord. It's so creamy. This has like 4 different types of milk, and it's so hard to identify which flavor or which type of milk you're getting. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's rich, it tastes glorious. And that sauce is flavoring these guys right here, the sucking snail. Oh, that's good. The snail itself is very unique because you won't find any other snail like this in Vietnam with this shape. When you suck it into your mouth, you can feel it's a long, really soft body, absolutely coated in that cream. I would say it's like the first time you smoke a cigarette. You don't want to directly inhale into your lungs like, it's more of a, like that. Is this helping? Is this, maybe I'm going a little too overboard with the instructions. Nice.
The further I wade into snail territory, the weirder things get. And luring them out of their shells takes a combination of brains and brawn.
It's so strong.
But first, a snail dish with a porky twist.
Right here, the next gastropod on our list. This is the apple snail. Finally, we're getting into something much more substantial. Trust me, when you put this in your mouth, you're gonna know there's something there.
Apple snails pop up in flooded rice fields across Vietnam. At 20 cents a piece, they've made a name for themselves with one legendary recipe that I'm about to try.
Now, lying within this shell is a mighty meaty morsel known for being really chewy and dense. But here's the thing, we're not gonna be eating this snail straight.
First, the meat must come out of the shell. Don't worry, we'll put it back in later. Our chef pops off each snail's tough little heel, blanches the snail meat, and tosses it into a food processor. Next, in a blender, he combines fish paste, ground pork paste, and the ground snail meat with a fragrant medley of ground lemongrass, ginger, and lime leaves. He seasons the blend with fish sauce, MSG, sugar, and oyster sauce. While the blender works, he trims the tips of the apple snail shells. Lining each shell with a stalk of lemongrass, he stuffs them with that blended mixture. Finally, a 20-minute steam finishes the job.
What you see here is the unlikely and beautiful marriage of snail and pork, all minced up, mixed with a bunch of other ingredients and shoved back into the snail. You see this right here? This is like a little ripcord. I'm gonna take both sides of these lemongrass handlebars, jiggle it back and forth, and there you have it. Right now, it's time to give them a ceremonial dip in the fish sauce. Let's toss it back. Cheers. Oh yeah. I swear there are foods out there, you can taste it with your fingers before it even reaches your mouth hole. That, I knew it was gonna be delicious. I could feel the pork. I could feel that minced meat. Pork and snail was very springy, it's juicy, it's a wonderful texture. Beyond that, when you mix it with this sauce is undeniable. It's hot, it's garlicky, and it's full of sweet fish sauce flavor. This is what it looks like to step up your snail game. You wanna impress a first date with snails? Actually, you're off to a bad start already if you're doing that. Listen, if you want to drink beers by yourself and eat snails, this a great option.
From Vietnam's rice paddies, my snail adventure is about to go global.
This comes all the way from South Australia.
Building up to a giant snail from the Atlantic Ocean.
Look at this goo from the inside. This is what they put into women's cosmetic products, I assume.
But next up on this global tasting tour, a snail from France.
These are Burgundy snails. In France, they're called escargot. It means snail. I thought it meant something potentially more fancy, but no, it's 3 syllables to say snail. It does sound fancy though. These guys grow up in France, and actually it could take 3 to 5 years for them to reach this mature size, but when they do, they pluck them, they freeze them, they throw them on an airplane, and they send them here.
No lemongrass, no ginger. This snail recipe screams Europe. First, the snail meat leaves its shell to sizzle with butter, garlic, and thyme.
The Burgundy snail has been eaten in France since Roman times, and it's so highly prized that there are laws around plucking these things from the wild. If you come upon some Burgundy snails in the wild that think you're gonna get yourself a free meal, think again. French police are brutal. They will hit you with a little stick. I think that's about it. I mean, they're not like American police. They're not going to fill you full of holes or anything, but still, they'll hurt your feelings.
Our chef whips up a mixture of butter, parsley, and shallots, then adds mashed seaweed, pickled kelp, and lemon juice, continuing to whip it until it's all smooth. He pipes the mixture into each snail, then he returns the snail meat to its home, seals it in there with more of that creamy blend, and sends them off to the oven.
All right, folks, we have our escargot right here, and I am ready to escargot into our next snail dish. In France, if you were eating the burgundy snail, you'd probably be eating it simply with butter and parsley. But here, since we're in Vietnam, they had to kind of dress it up a bit. God, it smells like garlic bread. So right now I'm gonna put my snail retrieving device into the shell and try to crowbar the snail out. Oh, great success. It is kind of a medium-sized snail, especially considering the size of the shell. It's really shriveled up a bit. It's so wildly delicious, I can't believe it. One of the hallmarks of snails in Vietnam is that they can be a bit tough and chewy, which local folks like. But this right here is something different. I don't know if it's about the snail species or about the preparation, but these snails, every time I have them, they are so soft and tender. And the flavors, it tastes like pizza. This is a bizarre experience I'm having right now. When I say it tastes like pizza, I mean it tastes like the herbs and spices you would find in a marinara, even though the ingredients are pretty different. Yes, we have garlic, and yes, we have parsley, but there's also seaweed giving it this unique umami flavor. All those flavors combined, for me, marinara, pizza. These guys are coming in at 60 cents per snail, so not the cheapest snail, but probably a little bit more expensive because it flew here all the way from France. Was the trip worth it? To me, absolutely.
Next, we're taking a big step up in both price and size.
Our next specimen on our long list of snails, the Japanese bonnet snail. These snails are found in shallow, sandy waters all the way from Japan to here in Vietnam. You can see the snail has a thick, round, helmet-shaped shell, which is where it gets its name from, the bonnet snail. Ooh, and right now it's taking a peek.
Hey guys.
Ooh, what's that part? Is that your tongue? Are you licking me? Am I making you lick me? Put it away. Shove it back in there. Clean it up. We have a young audience.
After a fragrant lemongrass and ginger boil, our chef pulls out the snail meat, drains the shells, and puts the meat back in place. Folks in Vietnam call these garlic snails, believing their meat carries a natural garlicky aroma, and they double down on that by stir-frying them with real garlic. A punchy blend of fish sauce, sugar, chilies, and lime juice join in. Finally, crispy pork rinds join the party, adding a crunchy finishing touch.
All right, folks, right here we have our final product, the bonnet snail, all fried up. Here's what I love. The shell is literally flavored. You can lick it and have an acid trip, like licking a frog. Not really, you'll just get a little bit of a taste of garlic. This has a pretty big body, and you may not be surprised to know that each of these guys cost $2. It smells like garlic, and it smells like the pork rinds that they've also paired with it. I'm gonna pair these two together. That is good, but that is a big, meaty mouthful. Today we started with a tiny morsel of a snail. Now we're getting into the big boy meat. What? Is this 2 for 1? I found twins. Okay, I think the chef was a little bit careless here. I'm pretty sure he put 2 snails in one shell. It's greasy, it tastes of toasted garlic, it's a little bit sugary, it's salty, it's delicious. It's a wonderful combination. And that's 10 out of 10.
From the tiny button tops to the giant 7-pound specimen waiting for me at the end of this journey, snails are usually recognized by their spiral shells, but our next 2 candidates break that rule. Introducing the snail you never knew was a snail.
Right now I'm gonna reach my hand inside this tank of live seafood and attempt to retrieve it. There's fish, there's halibut, there's other shellfish. Come on, buddy. Now, these guys are notoriously difficult to get off of anything. Really, what you need is a crowbar or a spatula. Come on. Oh, there we go. Let's just take a ride to the top and bloop. Just like that. Jade tiger abalone. Now this thing is a beauty. It has no spiral shell, it has no slime trail, but according to science, this is classified as a snail. Oh, look at it move. It's trying to escape, but it's stuck in its shell. Where can you go, buddy? Where can you go?
The jade tiger abalone is a product of the South Australian Sea, yet the recipe here reminds me of something I've tried in Japan.
The abalone, when you take it out of the shell, it has a big gland. That's its digestive stuff, including its excrement. It's all in there. And here, they're using it as a flavoring agent. Recently, they did something similar when we were traveling in Japan. They used butter and sake and the abalone poop and made a delicious brown sauce. When you look at that color, does it give you feelings?
Not good feeling.
Here, the sauce has a soft, creamy tone that looks much more promising, though the way it tastes is still in question. But before it gets that intriguing dressing, the meat is sous vide for 4 hours with chicken stock and lemongrass. Next, it hits the grill, fueled by straw, for a smoky kiss. Then it's sliced and tucked back into its shell. In comes a creamy mix of abalone liver, butter, cream, garlic, onion, and chicken stock. Finally, a small bundle of kumquat zest seals the deal.
Can we please talk about this ceramic plate that looks like a pillow? This is astounding. Whoever made the Michelangelo, this is even more impressive. Abalone feels tender to the touch already. I'm gonna pick it up and toss it back. That's working for me.
Light it up, light it
The
up.
abalone itself, pretty tender overall. It's got a nice density to it, but let's talk about that sauce. So I thought that liver gravy was gonna be a little bit more briny or intense, but it's not. It's just got like a nice, subtle, savory creaminess to it. And that, when it's paired with this kumquat zest, it tastes actually delicious together. The zest is so zesty, it's very citrusy, it's very bright. That liver gravy and that kumquat zest, they pair together like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Those guys should do another movie. They're old now. Oh, that means I'm old.
At $5.60, the Jade Tiger abalone isn't exactly cheap, but our next variety costs over 3 times as much, and for good reason.
Snail number 9 on our list, coming all the way from South Korea, the black lip abalone. And if you're wondering why they call it that, well, just take a look at this. Oh, it's wild because it is such a firm, dense meat. You put your finger on it and you can like leave your fingerprint inside. What's amazing about these guys is that they come all the way from Jeju Island. That is like Korea's Hawaii.
These suckers are no easy catch. They dwell deep beneath the waves and are handpicked by extraordinary divers, like the ones I met in Japan. These badass women are in their 70s, and they dive without any breathing equipment. All that effort adds to the price. But is the flavor worth it?
When it comes to preparing these guys, they can either be steamed or grilled, but today we're gonna be eating them raw.
The chef rinses the abalone while scrubbing it with salt to eliminate any slime. He detaches the meat from its shell and organs, then repeats the rinse and scrub action, this time with lime. Now it's ready to shape-shift into slices. The shell, lined with shiso leaves and radish, becomes its final resting bed.
Right here we have a nice tray of dipping sauces. Here they have a soy sauce that's been infused with truffle. On the side of it, some chopped wasabi stem, and then we have a mound of enough wasabi to kill a freaking horse. Now, before I taint the flavors of the black lip abalone, I just want to try it straight up. We have a thick piece of raw abalone that looks like it's gonna be super crunchy and hard. That's nice. The abalone itself has such a nice natural sweetness coming from it. You know, sometimes you eat these seafoods raw and you're like, oh, it tastes like wet air. Not this. This has plenty of flavor. It's subtle, but it's sweet. But what happens when you take that subtle sweetness and you pair it with soy sauce infused with truffle? Oh. That's good. Savory, a little bit sour too, and plenty of truffle flavor. All of that paired beautifully with the abalone. Meanwhile, we have this right here. This is what I'm told is called the wasabi stem. Let's try it out. I'm scared. Oh, that's really nice. It's salty, it stings, it gives you a little bit of a hit in your cerebellum. It has that sting or that punch of a horseradish, but with more layers of flavor. This is gonna pair beautifully with this abalone. That wasabi hit brought me to the edge of my consciousness like doing too many balloons, and I'm not talking about helium.
Our last 3 snails are 2-for-1 treats, dinner on the inside and desk decor on the outside. But will their flavor be as striking as their shells? Time to find out, starting with the thorn conch.
Come take a look at this medieval bad boy with a body of armor. You can see these giant thorns on each side helping to protect it against predators. But it couldn't be helped against the ultimate predator, woman. You thought I would say men? No. Ladies. They're very predatory. Right now you can see it's kind of sticking its tongue out at us. Ugh. It's closed off to us, but I want to peel it out. I want to show you to the world. Not interested. All right. This snail is a bit of an introvert. Quite literally.
Lemongrass, ginger, and boiling water kickstarts the thorn conch presentation. This sea snail was once nestled deep in a reef off Vietnam's coast, which makes its current situation rather uncomfortable. The chef frees the meat from its shell, slices it, and tosses it into a mixing bowl with green mango, shallots, carrots, chilies, and Vietnamese coriander. A vibrant dressing of fish sauce, sugar, lime juice, and garlic brings it all together.
Right here we have a thorn conch salad. If your doctor is telling you to eat more salads, probably he doesn't mean this. On the top we have fried onions, we have peanuts, we have lots of texture. But beneath and around the edges, you can see nice slices of that thorn conch. I want to try one of these plain before I try the whole salad together. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, oh that's good. It reminds me of octopus sashimi that's been cut thin, it's already been boiled. It has a bit of a tough, rubbery bite to it. But it's so fun to chew on. Wow, there's so many treasures within this salad. Right here we have the poop sack of the snail. I'm gonna take it home and give it to my wife and child. I am a provider. Back to the salad. Right here, I really want to bring all those ingredients together. We have that unripe mango, the onions, the snail itself, all that sauce.
Don't need to tell me what I already know. A broken smile.
It's so refreshing. I can taste aromatic herbs. I taste the fruit. And then there's just a ton of different textures in here, from the shredded up unripe mango to the onions to the peanuts, of course, to that rubbery and chewy snail.
$23 for a salad and souvenir? That seems like a steal. But our next snail isn't nearly as affordable. At $120 a piece, it's not the most expensive snail of the day, but it's definitely the biggest.
Introducing the Mellow Mellow. First of all, this guy, heavy, nearly 10 pounds. Second of all, absolutely brimming with meat. Their meat is so plentiful that it's just spilling out of their shell. All of this, edible. Editors, spank sound effects.
The Mellow Mellow roams the coastal waters of Southeast Asia, and it's a prized catch for local fishermen. In addition to its abundant meat, the shell alone can fetch over $20, and once in a while, it even makes a pearl.
The Mellow Mellow is considered a luxury ingredient. Oftentimes, after cooking, the meat is sliced in and it's put in a variety of dishes. Today, we're going to be eating it in a Mellow Mellow curry.
After steaming for 2 hours with lemongrass, ginger, garlic, lemon, salt, and wine, followed by an icy plunge, the meat finally lets go of its grip. The snail is then sliced thin, poached again, and set aside while the curry base comes together. In a wok, oil is heated and infused with ginger, garlic, shallots, and chilies. Dried shrimp and curry leaves go in next. Then comes fermented bean sauce, curry powder, and wine. Now, the star of the dish, the Mellow Mellow meat. Chicken stock, oyster sauce, dark soy sauce, and light soy sauce add more diversity to the flavor. Okra and shallots offer some freshness, while a cornstarch slurry thickens the sauce. Finally, a splash of sesame oil.
Right here we have a type of curry that you won't find anywhere in India. Let's do a little bit of a tour of this plate. First of all, pineapple. Here, the shell is resting on a bed of greens, and then spilling out of this cornucopia of the sea, we have tons of little slices here of curried snail. I'm told the proper way to eat this is with rice. First, I'm gonna make a bed of fluffy white jasmine rice, and on top of that, I'm gonna put my curry. I've never seen snail look like this, ever. My first time having curried snail. How do you do that? It's so good. First of all, it just has a load of spices. There's so much flavor. It's so powerful, but the texture is the most impressive part. I have had Mellow Mellow before, and it was really chewy, like really rubbery. But here, he's actually steamed the snail for hours until it's become so soft. It's almost like chewing on an abalone. Somehow, even with all the spice he's caked on here, you can still taste the real natural flavor of the snail. It's sweet, it has a slight ocean brininess to it. I think the most remarkable part about this snail is that the texture is so similar to an abalone, but there's so much more of it. An abalone this size with 5 pounds of meat, that'd be like $1,000. Also, it doesn't exist. Here you're still getting that same satisfaction of biting into soft but dense meat, but without having to buy an expensive abalone. So that is the Mellow Mellow, the biggest snail that we're gonna eat all day today. But coming up next, the most expensive snail. This bad boy right here weighs in at over 7 pounds. It costs $135, and it's known as the Atlantic Triton's trumpet, because once you gut this guy, you put a little hole right here and Editor, did you put a sound effect in there? You did not. Okay, thank you for leaving me hanging. Appreciate that.
Despite the Atlantic name, this giant gastropod is also common throughout the Pacific and Indian Oceans.
These guys are carnivorous. They have strange, weird, barbed tongues, and they use those tongues to bore into starfish and suck out their insides. Cool. Now this part right here is the heel or the foot. This is what protects the snail when it wants to retreat back into its shell. But this snail is so big and so meaty that you can still touch its flesh. Ugh. It feels so slimy and gooey. The snail is so big, perhaps I can actually pull it out. Oh my God, it's working a little bit. He did not like that at all.
It turns out to lure the Triton snail out, we need a lot of heat. And 2 strong forks. From here, this slimy lump of meat will be transformed into 2 beautiful dishes that I'll be meeting soon.
Every snail we've eaten today has built up to this moment. First, what I call fried snail balls. There's probably like a fancy French word for it, but I don't know that word.
First up, the giant snail meat gets diced into tiny cubes. In a sizzling saucepan, butter melts into a golden pool before joining forces with wheat flour, cream, and milk to form a thick, dreamy mix. Cheese cubes and snail bits jump in next, and everything gets a flavor boost with a sprinkle of pepper, salt, and nutmeg. Once it thickens just right, it's time to roll out. The chef shapes the mix into bite-sized balls, coats them with flour, dunks them in egg, rolls them in breadcrumbs, and sends them for a golden deep fry.
I'm gonna start by holding on to this ball. That's a nice ball. My favorite shape for food and not food. Ooh, this is full of cheese and tons of other ingredients, including diced pieces of snail. I'm gonna put the ball back together and put it in my mouth hole.
I got nothing to say.
It's crunchy, it's cheesy, it tastes very rich. As far as flavor, I'm not getting a bunch of snail flavor. It's more about the snail texture. It's hard, it's kind of rubbery, and it's a unique texture in contrast to this fry food that you're eating. You're getting something crunchy and gooey, and then on the inside, you just got these little bits like eating a rubber tire in a fancy way, like in a 5-star restaurant kind of way. So that is our first course, but here we have something very special. I've had this food before and I've had it here in Vietnam. So most of the time in Vietnam, they will either stir fry it or serve it sashimi style, but either way, it's really hard and chewy. Here, they've done something different.
First,
I gotta hit the beat.
slice the snail thin. Then drench it in a pesto sauce made from breadcrumbs, parmesan, butter, shallots, basil, peppermint, and wine before a quick 5-minute bake in the oven. On a plate, spread out a creamy bed of potato risotto made from potatoes, cheese, and chicken stock. Gently nestle the baked snails on top. Sprinkle it with microgreens and pickled onions, and finish it off with a fresh basil oil drizzle.
I gotta say, for something that comes out looking so scary and slimy, this looks completely elegant. They've completely transformed it into something gorgeous. I can't wait to try it out. They've done it. They have completely transformed the texture from anything we've tried today. Usually a snail like this, it would just be so rubbery and hard. This is something different. It is still a little bit on the chewy side, but it's much softer. I gotta say, I don't think I've ever had a texture like this before. How do you describe that? Here's something that'll be relatable. It's something between squid and lungs. Is that helping? No? Okay, my bad. As far as the taste go, it's punchy, it's aromatic. You can taste the pesto, you can taste garlic, you can taste shallots. I think this is one of those dishes that would really surprise people. When you see something like this, you can't imagine it being transformed into something so high-end, so premium, and so beautiful looking. From beast to beauty. Today, out of the 11 snails that I tried, I have to say my absolute favorite was the Mellow Mellow. There was something very special about how the chef prepared and steamed that Mellow Mellow for over 2 hours, making it soft, making it tender, and absolutely delicious. So that's what I think. But let me know what you think downstairs in the comments below. Otherwise, that is it for this one. I will see you next time. Peace.